you doing? I hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel and to another Disney video. Now this one is going to be so exciting and it's going to definitely challenge me because it is the 30 questions in 5 minutes tag. And basically, you have to answer those 30 questions in 5 minutes. I can't promise that I'm going to be able to do that because I'm very indecisive and I'm also rambling a lot of the time in these videos. Don't know if you can tell already, but yeah, I just have a lot to say and I get very excited and passionate about Disney. So I can't promise you this is going to be 5 minutes long, but we'll give it my best shot. Let's start with the first question, which is, who is your favourite character? I guess I'm going to go with my childhood favourite, which is Pooh Bear. I have a lot of favourite characters, but this one always brings me so much happiness and joy. He's adorable and I love all his stories, and like I said, he was my childhood favourite, so we'll go with Pooh Bear. Favourite princess? This is quite tricky for me because I have my more current favourite princess and my childhood favourite princess. So Rapunzel is more of a current favourite for me. Ever since her film came out in 2010, something in me just loved her and everything about her and her character and what she stands for. But then Belle has always been a childhood favourite of mine. When I was growing up, she was just a role model to me. I admired her very much and I just related to her a lot and loved her. So it's probably between those two, but if I'm going to go with one or the other, I'll go with Rapunzel, I guess. Favourite heroine? I'm gonna go with Meg from Hercules. She's just so sassy and yeah, I just love her and she just has a take no kind of crap attitude and I love that. Favourite prince? Does Eugene Fitzherbert count from Tangled? I know he like marries a princess, but like, does he count as a prince? I don't know. If he does, then probably him, just because he's hilarious. He's like probably like one of the most real characters that you can see out there because he's just looking at everything going around him and being like, is this actually happening right now? What is going on? Why are you doing that? Why are we all singing? And I think that's really funny and I just like his sass and his humour and his sarcasm and his wit. Favourite hero? You're probably going to sense a theme here of my favourite certain type of things. So my favourite hero is going to be Hercules from Hercules. Favourite animal? Surprise, surprise, it's another one from Hercules. Pegasus. I love Pegasus. I have a baby Pegasus plushie up on the top of my bookshelf that you can't see. I just think he's adorable and I just think he's a great sidekick friend to Hercules, which I mean I probably should have put him in the next question, which is who is your favourite sidekick? So my favourite sidekick is Pascal, so maybe I'll switch him around, I don't know, and say that Pascal is my favourite character that is an animal and that Pegasus is my favourite sidekick. But then again, I don't know, I think they're both good animals, but I also think they're both good sidekicks to their companions. I don't know, but I think maybe Pascal tops it for me as the favourite sidekick just because he's spunky and sassy and he will literally do anything for Rapunzel and he's very protective and adorable, and yeah, I think we all need a Pascal in our lives. Favourite villain? This is also quite difficult. The villains are just something else for me, but I feel like Maleficent is definitely the villain of all villains. She's the mistress of all evil, so I definitely love Maleficent, but then I also love the sass that Hades brings to Hercules, and I feel like even though he is a villain, he does bring some comic relief to the quite serious and like, I don't know, dark undertones that Hercules sometimes has. Favourite original character? So this is any of like Fab 5, Mickey Mouse kind of characters. So I'm gonna go with, even though they're not in the Fab 5, they're in the Fab, what is it, 7 or 6? Chip and Dale. I love them so much. They're my boys. They make my heart very happy. I just adore them. Favourite love song is definitely I See the Light from Tangled. That scene and that moment in the movie, I know everybody will say it too, but it's just the most beautiful part of the movie. I love I See the Light. I can never not cry at that part of the movie, and probably from that point onwards, I always cry during that movie. Similarly, my favourite song in general from any Disney movie, which is question number 11, is Go the Distance. I just, the words, the lyrics, the whole meaning behind the song, that moment in the movie, it just uplifts me and makes me feel very motivated and I just love it. And when Happily Ever After first debuted in Magic Kingdom and they played the finale, I was watching the live stream and Go the Distance played, I was sobbing. It was just a really great moment, and when I got to see it for the first time in person, I was like, yes, they're using a song from Hercules, and it made me very happy. My least favourite song is the song from the end of one of the Tinkerbell movies. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's the Fly to Your Heart song that Selena Gomez sings. And this is because when I work in the Oceaneer Club on the Disney Fantasy, the BGM, background music that they play automatically, that just comes on all the time, plays that on a loop that they have, and it's just so whiny and annoying, and every time I hear it I'm like, no, oh, so I have to like race to like try and turn it off, especially if it's like quiet in the space, or if I'm like setting up or closing down and everything resets and it automatically starts playing. I'm like, oh god, please turn it off right now. It's so annoying. So yeah, hate that song. Sorry, Selena. Favorite kiss? That's difficult. There's a lot of great kisses in Disney movies, but maybe I'll go with the Belle and Beast kiss from the end of Beauty and the Beast, just because it is pretty iconic and there's like literal fireworks everywhere. He transforms into a human. The song is iconic. We all know that moment, so I think maybe we'll go with that one. First movie you saw? I mean, it's probably something like Winnie the Pooh. I don't entirely remember. My memory isn't the best, but then I guess maybe the first movie I remember like vividly watching that I don't necessarily think was my first, but I like remember watching it. I definitely remember vividly watching Dumbo. I remember watching it in school when I was maybe like 5, I want to say. It was a really small school and my mum was teaching in that school too, but she didn't teach me. But she had the really big class at the bottom of the school and it was a rainy day, so we couldn't go outside to play. So when it was wet play during school hours, we would go and watch a film in our classrooms, and because my mum had the biggest classroom, she could fit pretty much the whole school in that class, and she had a little video player in her TV at the sort of back of the class that we could watch. And I remember watching Dumbo, and I remember vividly being quite like freaked out by the pink elephants on parade part of that movie. Favorite classic? Ooh, I love Peter Pan. I think that is a great movie, and I always wanted to be a damsel in distress when I was younger and be like Wendy so that Peter could come rescue me, because I had a little bit of a crush on Peter. Song that always gets stuck in your head? Definitely Into the Unknown. I'm always singing it around my house. My parents are always like, please stop, it's so annoying. If not that, then probably Speechless from the 2019 Aladdin live action movie that Jasmine sings, because it's just a great song. I love belting both of those songs out, so one of those two. Favorite Pixar film? Either Up or Inside Out. Up because I remember watching it in the cinema when it came out. I was probably like 14. Me and my friends were staying at another friend's house that weekend. We walked to the cinema from their house, which was not too far away, but also like it wasn't 10 minutes down the road. It was probably like 40 minutes to like an hour down the road, and it was quite a small cinema, so there was like 2 films showing at the time. We didn't go originally to go see Up. We wanted to go see another film, which funnily enough I can't even remember what it is right now, but yeah, we wanted to go see another film. Missed it accidentally because we got the times just a little bit wrong, so we were like, well, we don't want to have to walk all the way back and then go back again to go watch this film, so we may as well stay and watch another film, which was Up. And we were all like, at that time in our lives where it wasn't really cool to watch Disney movies or like Disney, because we were like early teenage years, so I was suppressing that side of me, and I don't know if they were too, but we were like, oh, it's a kids film, why are we gonna go and watch Up? And we walked in there and we loved it, and we walked out and we were like, wow, that was such a good film. Great memories from that time watching that movie. But then I also really love Inside Out. I love the whole meaning behind that movie, and it just, yeah, it soothes me. The music I just think is really beautiful. I love that how it teaches kids about your brain and how the basic functioning of that and your emotions and things like that. So yeah, that's a tie between those two. Those two make me very happy. My least favourite might be a little bit controversial, which is The Incredibles. I just didn't really enjoy it when I watched it. The first time I watched it like maybe in 2016, I want to say, for the first time, and I didn't really have that strong emotions towards it. I was just a bit like, meh. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. I'm so sorry if that's your favourite movie from the Pixar universe, but maybe I'll give it a rewatch and see what I think, but I don't really enjoy it that much. Favourite sequel? Probably Frozen 2. I feel like I probably like it even more than Frozen 1. I don't know, I just think it's a great story. I love that they decided to answer the question of how did Elsa get her powers. I love the songs, the emotions behind that movie. I just think it's so powerful and I just love it a lot. So definitely Frozen 2 is my favourite sequel. Overrated movie. Again, might be a little bit controversial with this. I was going to say Frozen, but then I thought most people would say Frozen for overrated movie. So I'm going to go with something like Lilo and Stitch or a Goofy movie. I used to like Lilo and Stitch when I was younger, and then it wasn't only until I started working for Disney Cruise Line that I watched a Goofy movie, because people would put it on at work, and don't like them that much anymore because people would play them all the time, and I just feel like Lilo and Stitch is like very overhyped. Stitch is way overhyped as a character. I don't really like Stitch that much. He's cool to me, I guess. He's kind of cute, but like I don't think he needs the hype that he necessarily gets, especially in the parks and like meet and greets and merchandise and all of that. And then Goofy movie, I think is a terrible movie. Sorry if that's one of your favourites. I know people think it's like a cult 90s classic, but I just don't enjoy it. I just think the start and the end are good, and then the rest of it is just like really boring. So sorry, I know people love Goofy and Max and they're dynamic, but I just don't like it, so that's definitely one of my least favourite overrated movies. Underrated movie, I have two here again. I know I'm cheating by having two answers in a lot of these, but definitely Big Hero 6 or Princess and the Frog. Big Hero 6 I think is so cool, and I don't know, I just think it's such a good concept for a movie, I guess. And I love that these people come together through like technology and science to try and fight this like evil force in the movie. And I love the characters. Baymax makes me very, very happy, especially when he's running low on energy and he's trying to sneak into the house with Hero and he's stroking the cat and he's like, "Furry baby." I think that's funny. And then I also really think Princess and the Frog is very, very underrated. It's such a good movie. I love the songs, I love where it's set, I love the storyline, and how it's like a twist on the original like Princess and the Frog story that we know from like fairy tales and everything like that. And I just think it's such a good movie. A movie that makes you laugh. I had to really think about this one. There was quite a lot. There's a lot of Disney movies that make me laugh, but I feel like the one that consistently makes me laugh, that's quite quirky and unusual, and like the characters are just, even though some of them are villainous, the way that things happen and like mishaps that happen and things like that just make me laugh, and that's The Emperor's New Groove. I don't know, there's something about that movie that's just so like quirky and weird and funny, so I'm gonna say that one for that. A movie that makes you cry is Frozen 2. There's so many. I cry at pretty much every Disney movie, let's be honest, but the one I think I consistently cry through is definitely Frozen 2. Saddest scene from your favourite movie? Probably, well, my favourite movie is Hercules, so I guess that would be Meg dying. That would be the sad scene, and she says, like, people do the craziest things when they're in love, and then she dies, so that was pretty sad. I always cry every time that happens. Saddest death. That's quite hard. A lot of people die unnecessarily in Disney movies. I guess we'll go with Ray from Princess and the Frog. That's heartbreaking when he dies, even though he does become the second star to the right and gets reunited with his Evangeline. Either that or Tadashi from Big Hero 6, because I feel like that was such a good relationship and he was such a great character and he was really there for Hero when he needed him, and I loved the introduction of him and Baymax and his whole reasoning behind wanting to create Baymax, and then that happens when he dies and I was just so shocked. I was like, oh my, did they do that? And that made me really sad when that happened. I was just like, wow, okay, I need to just take a minute. So that was definitely really sad for me. Favourite quote. This could be kind of wrong the way I've written it down, but it's the one from Winnie the Pooh, which is, "You are stronger than you seem, braver than you believe, and smarter than you think." I think it's along those lines anyway. You get the gist. I just have always really liked that one, and I just think it's a really good quote to like motivate you, and when you're having a down day, when you think that you're maybe not the best person, or you know, you're just disbelieving yourself, it's really good to hear that and think, actually no. Favourite theme park is the one that I visited most often. It's the place that I consider my home park. It's the nearest one to me, and that's Disneyland Paris. It may not be the biggest and the best of all the Disney parks. It may get a little bit of slander sometimes for some of its things that happen there, or you know, it had a rough start when it first opened, but it's my happy place. I think it's beautiful. I love it so much. So that's Disneyland Paris. Favourite attraction is Big Thunder Mountain, but only the Disneyland Paris version because it's the best version. Goes underwater, slightly longer, a lot faster. Love that ride. And the final question, which I definitely did not answer in all of the 5 minutes that I was supposed to, that is favourite theme park show. I thought maybe I could get away with like saying like a fireworks show, but I think it means like a stage show or something like that. So I'm going to go with either the Starlit Princess Waltz from Disneyland Paris's 25th anniversary celebrations, or Festival of the Lion King from Animal Kingdom. Both very different. One of them is princesses, the other one is like animals, and different styles of like performance, like fire, gymnastics, acrobatic, and beautiful harmonizing and like a cappella-y kind of a song. I love both of them equally though. I think they're both really good, but maybe, I don't know, Starlit Princess Waltz tips it for me, just because I really loved that time period in my life when I went and watched that a lot when I went to the celebrations for the 25th anniversary, and I love the princesses. I have a soft spot for the princesses, all of them, and I love seeing them with their princes, and the princes, all of them aren't always there at once, so it's nice to see them all together. So yeah, that is 30 Disney questions in not 5 minutes, but I tried, I'm sorry. If you liked this video and want to see more stuff like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time in another video. Goodbye.